Millwall Fan Show is sponsored by family business G&M Motors of Gravesend and Meopham in Kent. They are Millwall fans too. They've been Honda dealers for over 50 years. At G&M Motors Gravesend you can purchase a new Honda. At both Gravesend and Meopham they have a combined range of over 150 quality used cars and ex-demonstrators to suit all budgets and lifestyles. They also offer a comprehensive range of repair and maintenance services to ensure your vehicle stays reliable, safe and retains a higher value with trust. G&M Motors, Gravesend and Meopham are dear friends of the Julians family. From Lenny to Debbie, and also our Millwall Fan Show.
Hi, Bethany Warren here, and you've joined us for the weekly Our Millwall Fan Show with the Millwall No One Likes Us Talking team, which is broadcast every Friday evening. Enjoy!
Welcome to the 2022-23 series of the Millwall No One Likes Us Talking, Our Millwall Fan Show. I'm your host, Gary Staff, and with me I have the No One Likes Us Talking team of Ted Robinson. Hi, Ted.
Evening, Gary.
George Lampy. Hi, George.
Hello, Gary.
And that programme queen, Patricia Maslin. Hi, Pat.
Evening.
Before we start the show, I just wanted to say a well done to two friends of the show, Kelly Webster and Gianluca Sardi, who picked up the Millwall Fan of the Month for the month of October. Well done to them both. Keep up the good work. So, 6 points. Can we say any more? Bristol City, Watford, two very, very strong games in my opinion. I'll start with you, Ted.
I was just thinking there for Gianluca and Kelly getting the award, they get the sack next month, but no, that's normally what happens when the manager of the month comes around, they get the sack.
I want to know why I ain't got an award at any time.
I can tell you, but we'll have to wait till the show ends, George.
Pat's trying to get it Pat's trying to get it being the programme queen, isn't she?
Yeah, back to football. Two wonderful results for us. I must admit, probably last night is the best performance we put in all season. We absolutely blew Watford away, and it was at last Tom Bradshaw is finding himself on another one of his little runs he tends to go on, but he took all three goals exceptionally well. I thought, even the one that Mason Bennett crossed to him, I know he was on the goal line, but he got himself in the space for a tap-in. So, after last night's game, I don't think you will find a Millwall fan that isn't pretty euphoric about the way they're playing at the moment. But Bristol City was important, very important to get that sort of first away win under our belt. Probably made a little bit more hard work of it than we could have done. But what I like about the team of what I've seen the last two games, Gary, it looks like everybody, I was saying the other week about the two, like the Dutch guy and the German guy, like finding their feet in the Championship. Well, they certainly have now. As far as I'm concerned, they were both huge performances that they put in. Volkshammer chased back last night. There was an incident where the ball went out and the bloke perhaps he should have been marking had got away from him, and he chased back to get back into position, and it showed a great worth ethic. And it's hard picking players out because it was such a team performance.
Just at that point, Ted, I want to say something. I don't know if you saw. I think it was in the first half where Asprilla, their left back, I think he was, took out Volgersammer around the mid-centre of the pitch.
Yeah.
He looked up and realised what he'd done. He literally grabbed Volgersammer, gave him the biggest hug and a big sorry, and then run. Literally run.
Well, he's a big boy. He's a unit, and he's been. I say quiet, but as I was saying the other week, I think he was just feeling his way into what's expected of him in a Championship, and I just wish that he could have nicked himself a goal somewhere in them two games as well, because I think that'd do him a power of good as well. But I'm impressed with both him and Fleming. Fleming's been getting all the headlines for obvious reasons. Even the goal against Bristol City, I was only saying to someone yesterday that chance, or the way he put that away, he made it look so easy. He just first time, bang, in the back of the net before anybody realised. But how many times have you seen people take a touch, mess it up, basically? But Fleming is a quality act. And listen, we was all saying, I think, that we weren't that far away from being a very good side. And I think we have, in the last couple of games shown that we are a good side. Whether it is the change of the 4 at the back from the 5 at the back that's done it or not, only time will tell with that, I suppose. But at the moment, it's working fine, isn't it? And long may it continue, because I'm loving it at the moment.
Did anyone notice last night that I think he did it at the Middlesbrough game as well? Someone said that Fleming stayed out for about 5-10 minutes after everyone had gone in, taking free kicks.
Yeah, he done it at Blackburn, Gal, when I was up there. He seems to be a ritual with him. He hit one last night.
I know, it crossbar, didn't it?
Crossbar, yeah. I mean, Christ. But yeah, he seems. I don't know whether it's a ritual with these or what he just likes to do. They're all superstitious, aren't they, footballers? And maybe that he feels he needs to do that at the end. But
fair enough.
Listen, you could go through the whole team last night and say how well they played. Scott Malone, I thought, done a really good job on their danger man, because he swapped wings at what's his name?
Sorry,
yeah. I mean, from the goalkeeper right the way through, they all put in really good performances, and they looked a team to be wary of, in my eyes. So I say, long may that continue.
Pat, what was your thoughts?
I didn't actually see the Bristol game. I was working all day. I didn't know the score even until I got out of work. I did watch it on the Millwall site, the extended. Didn't think we played awfully well, but to get that win since March, I mean, we certainly needed that.
If you look at the game, Pat, we did play well.
Well, yeah,
Well,
better than it has been anyway. I've always thought we've got the team to play attacking football, and I can't believe why we've watched a load of dross at the start of the season when we got a decent squad, we got decent players, and all it took was that change of formation to show it. But luckily, Rowett's done that now. I think he has listened to the fans, and I think it's going to go from strength to strength. I mean, last night it was absolutely magic first half. As Ted said, for best football all season. I think you've got to mention Long. I mean, a good old-fashioned keeper there. Long kicks, quick distribution of the ball, things that perhaps Bart lacked on. He's more of a shot blocker. I like Long. I think he's going to come a long way. I mean, that first goal was down to him.
Well, if you see how far that went, Pat, it was about 90 yards until it landed.
Typical Route 1 football, but who cares if you're going to score?
Yeah.
I know a person ain't going to hate that. Who's going to hate that? But if you're going to score from it, you do it. I mean,
exactly.
Good work all round. I mean, the only 2 chances for Watford came in injury time at the end, and Long had those covered. So,
I think it's a real good point you make, Pat, because George Long, the back 4 as it is now, or the defenders, have got plenty of confidence in him. They know if they're under pressure, they can knock a ball back to him. That was the biggest thing with Bart. Yeah. I think he was
he comes out for crosses as well, doesn't he?
Bart's. I mean, he's a great goalkeeper, Bart, a shot stopper, like you say. But in today's football, where there's this press up the pitch, sometimes defenders have to go back to their goalkeeper. And our boys now are not worried what they do. If they have to go back to Long, they do. And like you say, like Gary said, when he hit a couple of them last night, I mean, it talked about turn defence into attack, and I'm sorry, Stan, I'd rather see the ball up that end than this end.
Absolutely. And also, Watford were bad at giving away set pieces. You don't do that with Millwall near your penalty area. I mean, we are good at the set pieces, and I think Watford were left lacking, and I expected more from them.
Oh, I did. And George.
Well, I mean, the one thing I'd say about both these games, and you ever go to Bristol City, and we all know, you never get an easy game. And I think we made Bristol City and Watford look like pretty ordinary teams, actually. And I think that's a real credit to us. I think Bristol City actually looked like a really poor team when we were playing them, and I think that was a credit to us. I think in the week they went and beat somebody away from home, didn't they? If I remember right, I don't know
2-0.
who it was. Yeah,
It
and
was
then
2-0.
And Watford were above us before last night. So, and I thought Watford looked pretty power in consideration to us. I thought we looked head and shoulders above them. Not even the goals alone, but I mean they didn't have, as guys were talking about. I don't think they had a shot to near the end, did they? He didn't have much to do at all, long did he? So I've been really impressed with the football. I think some of them, I was looking, I know they're all doing really well, but I think Hutchinson coming back has made a real big difference.
Yeah.
And I think Saville is playing really lovely in the middle there with Billy. So
They beat West Bromwich Albion, our opponents, on Saturday, 2-0 away from home.
yeah.
They did, yeah.
I think Cooper really misses touch, doesn't he, when he's not there?
Massive.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Has anyone listened to the recent interview he done on the Millwall actual podcast? And he even mentions it on there. He just says it's like an understanding we've got. It's almost telepathic. We just become one when we're together. And it is that thing. I was thinking if he went on to play for someone else, he probably wouldn't get that back. And hopefully he would just be a good defender on his own. But you're right, when those two are together, it is something different. And Hutchinson's immense at the moment again, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well,
I think that carries on the pitch.
Yeah,
I think the strange thing.
The formation has helped, actually. Sorry, Ted. I think the formation has helped, changing the formation.
Well, I think, George, with that, that's what I was going to say. The strange thing is, when you think you play with three centre halves, if you like, you think you'd be more solid. And to be fair to Rowett and whatever, we've been quite solid playing that formation for a while. I'll take Pat's most attractive of watching, but they're quite solid. But what it does sometimes, I think, in defenders' heads, they put uncertainty in. Hutch and Cooper know exactly what their jobs are. And I've not seen, the covering that them two do of one another, as well as their fullbacks. They know their job and they play to their job. Whereas when there's three of them, sometimes you find them leaving it to one another. You know what I mean? Rather than taking the responsibility. That's how it seems to have happened to me in the last few games. That defensive-wise, apart from the fact Billy Mitchell and George Saville have been outstanding in my, if he was a player of the month so far, for me, it's Billy Mitchell. And I'm so pleased for the kid because he was beginning to get undeserved stick, in my opinion. But he's come back. All of a sudden, it's weird how it's just clicked. And it's gone back to two guys at the centre of the defence that know exactly what their jobs are, and they just go out and do it, which is brilliant.
Sure is. We will take a break there and hear about the fans' matchday programme.
Hi, Bethany here. Want a matchday programme? You'll find them with sellers outside the ground by the gates at Zampa Road, Stockholm Road and Senegal Road. They cost £1 and the sellers ask if you can have the right money, as change will be difficult. If you want to get a message, photos of special events, memorials or just ones for good luck to be included, email smprogram@protonmail.com. That is smprogramme@protonmail.com. It's a great read.
I'm your host, Gary Staff, and with me, I have the No One Likes a Talking team of Ted Robinson, George Lampy, and Patricia Maslin. Our first guest tonight was born in Bonnie, Scotland, Glasgow to be precise, in 1984. He was a Millwall youth player until he turned pro with Millwall in 2000, where he played 66 times for the Lions. He scored his first goal for the Lions against last night's opponents, and what a scream it was in a 4-0 victory at the Den. He went on to play for Stoke, Leeds, AFC Wimbledon, to name a few, and finished his career with Dartford. Welcome to the show, Peter Sweeney.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Hello, Pete.
Evening, Pete.
How you doing, mate? Yeah, you okay?
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
good.
fine.
Good.
Pete, you turned pro in 2000 and joined a pretty good team back then. What was it like playing with that squad?
It was. I mean, you look back, it was a really, really good Millwall squad, and it was. It was tough. It was really tough because the they demanded a lot of you. And back then, I think it was a bit different back then. You could, I remember my first time I trained with them. I think I was 16, 17, and I think Stephen Reid wrapped a pass into me, and I didn't control it perfectly, and the whole team was like shouting at me. And I realised I had to learn quick.
Pete, it's Pat here.
Hello.
I remember somewhere saying you don't remember much about your first goal at Watford.
No,
do you remember?
do you know someone actually sent me it the other day? Was it up on? Did it get put up somewhere? Because obviously you were playing Watford last night. I was actually at the game last night, and I didn't really remember much about it until I saw it again, and then obviously it come flooding back.
You're watching it now.
You having a rave in there or what?
Who was that? Own up. Who was that? Own up. Like,
I don't know. Go on.
Yeah, so no, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't remember much of it at the time before, obviously when I retired and stuff. But as soon as I see it again, it all come flooding back.
Oh, brilliant!
Corner of the box with it, Pete. As you come in on the.
I sort of just. I remember I was really nervous because obviously it was probably I'd only played come off the bench probably 3 or 4 times, and I don't know. I just got the ball and ran and as bad as it was even on my right foot. So I don't. Sometimes things work out for the best, and that was definitely one of them.
Yeah, brilliant.
If you don't remember it, Pete, it was one of 2 things. It was either a hit and hope or a bad cross. But there you go. I'll finish up.
I think the latter one, mate. If I'm an adult now, I can be honest. I think it was a floated cross.
It looked good, mate. That's the main thing.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
I'm still reeling a bit from realising you was born in 1984 because that's the year I got married. But anyway, let's move on to the FA Cup final. That must have been. I know you was a young boy, weren't you? Really in that game, but to be there, how did you actually feel when you got told that you'd be starting in that game?
Yeah, when I got told I was starting, I remember me and Marvin Elliott and Alan Dunn were really tight, and obviously me and Marvin were in the team a bit more than Dunny, so I think Dunny half expected maybe not to play. So it was nerve-wracking because it was that big a game that anything could happen. Wisey and Ray could have gone a different route of not playing. As we were kids, we was only 19. So I remember, I think it was the start of the week. We went to a hotel not far from the ground, and we trained up there for the whole week and stayed up for Monday till Friday. And I remember when Wisey and Ray were doing like shape and stuff, and you can sort of get a telltale sign of if you're playing or not. And I think he named the team maybe on the Thursday. So my phone was busy that night when I found out.
Dear old Robbie, who played behind you, didn't he that day, Robbie?
Robbie Ryan.
Yeah, Robbie Ryan. I speak about him all the time, the poor sod, honestly.
Yeah. He said to say thank you for all your help that day.
Yeah, I wasn't remembered for running back, was I? So you can imagine how he felt.
What was it like to be being close to Ronaldo? That obviously a young man himself in them days.
Yeah,
but,
obviously
something else, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was the whole squad in the tunnel when you were standing next to him, the presence of him. And I've said this many a times on interviews I've done, and it was weird. It was a weird feeling. They were just, I don't know if it's because you've seen them on TV. I just don't know, but the aura of them was like, this is a serious game, and they just oozed that class. And then once the game started, obviously, you knew it was going to be really difficult because that's probably one of the best Man United teams they've had.
Well, when you look at it, Pete, we only lost 3-0. And you look at other teams since then that were annihilated by that team.
Definitely. And you look, I know hindsight's a great thing, but when they scored, I mean, there was a time that we could have gone in at 0-0. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
anything happens then, going at half time 0-0, but that goal. I mean, I played a lot of games in my career, and I know that if you concede not long before half time, it sinks you, and especially in a game of that big against a team that big, it did deflate us at half time. We sort of knew that they were going to come out, and that team knew how to win football matches. Simple as that.
We
Which shirt did you get at the end?
I got Paul Scholes'.
Oh,
Cool.
wow.
Yeah, I tapped him up the last 20 minutes of the game. I got near him once, and then I said, "Can I have your shirt after?"
Did he ask for yours?
He took mine as well. Fair play to him. No, he actually took mine as well, because obviously I can guarantee he ain't got a clue where it is now, but he could have he could have he could have asked sort of. I didn't expect him to take it anyway. Obviously, he 100% didn't know who the hell I was, and he took his shirt off and he said, "Give me yours." And I actually remember saying, "What, do you want mine as well?" And he went, "Yeah, of course." And I thought, fair play to him, like showing me respect. I mean, he probably didn't even take it home, but still, the respect he showed in front of people was good.
I can't believe that, Pete, because if I remember in the game, I thought, why has he had his shirt? At least one.
No, I don't know. I don't know who. I know a few other. I know Mark McCammon got Ronaldo's, because there was a little tear up after the game in the changing room between. I won't say who else it was, but someone else.
Go on.
Oh, it was Waldy. All right, so it was Waldy. But obviously Waldy had played the whole game, and Mark McCammon had come off the bench, and he didn't seem it was fair that Mark McCammon. I don't know. Listen, I had Paul Scholes' shirt. I was happy, so I didn't really get involved anyway. But I know there was I can't remember who Marvin got. I can't remember, but I think he got Giggs's actually. Marvin Elliott. I think he got Ryan Giggs.
To be honest, Pete, he should have gave that shirt to Robbie Ryan, because he didn't know where he was. He should
have given it to Robbie and signed it for him and framed it.
Said, "Here you are, Rob." That's who he was marking.
Yeah, and just said, "I apologise for that, mate. All the best."
when he did that back flick on the touchline in front of the dugouts, I was literally about 2 rows back from that, and I went, "Well, that's it. I'm going home."
Yeah. Well, I was watching something not long ago, and it was the Sky Football's Greatest, and it was Ronaldo, and it was the hour specials. They do it about obviously the best players. So I was watching it, and near the end, it's started showing clips of the cup final, and he's obviously bending everyone up, and then it as clear as day, you see the back of my shirt, Sweeney, number 26, Ronaldo. I mean, I'm telling you now, when he does something, I run the total opposite way to where he goes. It's mental. Like the total, not even like a little bit, and then sort of try and catch him. I sprint the other way. Like he's just gone, and he was just. You could see after the game, like, you knew there's no surprise what he's done.
They were such a team. They had Van Nistelrooy up front and all, didn't they?
Yeah, Van Nistelrooy, obviously Roy Keane, Giggs, obviously Neville, I think Sylvester and Wes Brown were at the back.
O'Shea.
O'Shea, yeah.
And Darren Fletcher.
And Fletch played, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I tell you, I just see who was in goal for United. Howard was in goal.
Howard was in goal, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
It must have been in between the big keepers at the time then.
I think they were. Yeah, I think he come in, and then I think after that, a year later, I think that's when Van der Sar came in, maybe.
Maybe.
But I remember that era of when he was in goal. He done all right for a season or two, to be fair to him.
Did you all celebrate the evening after, Pete?
What, sorry, mate?
Did you all celebrate that evening, or was it all?
We went back to the hotel and had a good drink and celebrated obviously what we'd achieved and stuff. But it was, it was always, look, we went there to win the game. We prepared to win the game, and when you lose a game of football, it's always, even as hard as that was going to be, and obviously, 100 betting men would have betted on Man United, So, but we still prepared to win the game. So obviously having a loss was a little bit disappointing, but Wisey and Ray made it clear that, you know, we'd achieved a really good thing. And we celebrated that night, and there was plenty of drink and that. So we had a good time.
Didn't you have a chance to wind Roy Keane up?
No, I couldn't get near him, mate.
I don't think you wanted to, Pete.
I think I see you running the other way from him a couple of times.
Yeah, do you know what? I think I was just running away from them all, to be honest with you.
Thing is, though, it was only about 3 minutes before half time when they got that goal as well, which was the sickener. So you're right. If we'd have got to half time, and to be honest, if we'd have had Muscat, if we'd have had Dicchio, and there was someone else missing as well, wasn't there?
I think
Warner.
it was
Tony Warner as well.
Yeah, Warner was missing. But to be fair, I mean, Andy Marshall was a great keeper as well. So, but obviously I think Warner was number one at the time. But you put Muzzy in there, you put Deitch in there as well. And look, you don't know. Obviously, he's up front on his own. We played 4-5-1. He's chasing down the whole Man United's back four, trying to stop and pass it out. Like, it's always going to be tough. So. But that goal did kill us. And if I remember, it was Chopper had said, Wisey could have cleared the ball. If you see the goal again, Wisey could have cleared it, but Chopper shouts time because he can't. He didn't see Ronaldo go in the back stick. So Wisey goes to let it go across his body because he don't think no one's there, and then obviously Ronaldo comes in and heads it. I think he headed it in. Yeah, so it was a pretty rubbish goal as well, really. Thanks, especially our team at the time, which we had a good side at the time, and it was normally something we could have dealt with. So that was even more of a blow that it was a pretty rubbish goal.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but it was a great day.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And it was a great day for you guys, and it was a great day for us, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was a good day. I remember still turning up at the stadium, and I mean the amount of Millwall fans that was there. It was mental. It was crazy.
I suppose for us, the only disappointment was that he wasn't at Wembley. I suppose big.
Yeah, I mean that. Well, obviously it was getting built at the time, wasn't it? Was that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But to be fair, that Millennium Stadium, I mean the changing rooms. It felt like it was like indoors. That stadium. It was weird. It felt like we was playing inside. I don't know if that's because there were so many fans there. I don't know, but no, the stadium itself was nice. But Wembley is the FA Cup in it. So that was the only probably one thing we could change.
Yeah.
As I remember, it was a great weekend, not a day.
Yeah, I think. Listen, my mate's had a great 2 weeks. I know that for a fact. Yeah, bloody hell. I think with the semi-final as well. I think the semi-final was just as good because we won that game, and it was obviously we'd won the game and knew that we was in something really, really big now. Do you know what I mean? So I remember the celebrations after the semi-final were massive as well.
Well, we got into Europe and all, Pete, didn't we?
Exactly. Europe.
Yeah. So
I've only cried twice, Pete. One was at that semi-final, and the other time was after I realised I was married.
That was about the time you were born, Pete.
That was. Did any of you go over to that game in?
Yeah, I went to Budapest. Yeah.
They were some mental fans, weren't they?
It was a lively night.
Honestly, all my pals went over there as well, and all my mates in Millwall, and they was telling me after, because even when we was playing, the fans themselves, I mean, they were very racist as well, which weren't nice because obviously we had some black players, and it was just it wasn't a nice place to play football. It was really, really intimidating, to be fair.
George, you want to ask Peter about something he was up to last night, don't you?
Yes, I do actually. It's
Go
George
on, mate.
Pete. How are you, mate? Last night you were involved in the pathway scheme at Millwall, wasn't you? I wonder if
I was.
What that was about, and is it likely an ongoing thing?
Yeah, it's going to be an ongoing thing from one of my close friends, Anwar Yudin, who's he's set up with he set up the pathways with Mill. So what he done last night, it was coaching. It was obviously set on coaching. So obviously Anwar started at West Ham. He had a good career, really, really good professional career, and he's basically gonna set it up every month where people can come in. listen to, obviously, if it's of interest to them. Obviously, last night was coaching. So he asked me to do it, asked a couple of his other ex-player friends. So I'm not too sure what the next one will be, but I think he's going to try and do one a month. But it was brilliant, really good. And you come, there's food there, and then you get a free ticket to the game after. So yeah, it's a really, I think people should look out for it.
Oh, it sounds good. Yeah,
It was good. It was a good night. Yeah, and obviously the result last night was good as well. So yeah, no, it was a good day.
How many of you there then? You know, how many
There was last night. There was probably, I think there was probably about 50 last night.
That's good.
Oh, so a good turnout.
Yeah, and that was the first one. And I think Anwar, because it was the first one, just to see how it went, he had to turn people away. So I can see it being a really popular thing of an insight to what anyone wants to know. You know, I think he's talking about even doing. There was a ref there last night who was asking us on the panel questions and stuff. So Anwar said to him after, maybe we'll get a set of official refs in, that are high up in the game. And I mean, the people that Anwar knows as well will always be very high in football, So it'd be good for people to come and hear what they got to say.
Peter, do you obviously were playing with Tim during that time as well, going back to the time when you were playing for us. Did you realise at that point how good he was going to be and go on to be?
In the end up, I mean, we used to joke about with Tim and say, like, you are the luckiest player. And the ball just used to fall to him all the time. And if it was in the box, it would just fall to him. And but obviously, as more time went on, that was just perfect timing from his runs, And I mean, there was one season, I think, when Deitch was playing as well. I think I got about 14 or 15 assists in the season, and all I had to do was literally get the ball at my feet, put a half decent cross in, and one of them would head it in. It was I mean, Timmy's timing was the best I've ever seen in terms of just reading the game and knowing where the ball was going to fall. Because if you look at Timmy's play, he wouldn't get on the ball all the time. He wouldn't dictate play in midfield and be moving it and getting on it again. He was literally an instinct player and just had perfect. His timing, like I said, was the best I've ever seen. So when he did go to Everton, obviously the step up when any Championship player goes to the Prem, there's always a question mark naturally. But from in our squad, there was no questions that he was going to. I mean, the better players he played with, the more goals he was going to score. Simple as that.
I mean, he weren't a big fella, Pete, but he could really climb, couldn't he?
He was only he was probably 5'10", 5'11", and I mean his leap was it was. I mean, there's photos of him, like his leap was just. I mean, some of the goals he scored, like I said, if I put a half decent ball in, you knew he had half a chance because he'd leap anyway.
And what do you make?
Sorry.
Go on, Pat. We're back to our same question. Go on.
What do you make of the current squad then, Pete?
Yeah, to be fair, I went to the Cardiff game last month, and obviously went to. I don't really get a chance to because I'm down at Beckenham Football Club at the minute. So when they're playing, I'm doing Beckenham. So, but the two times I've seen, and obviously on the telly, they look all right. They look structured, and obviously Rowett's got a plan for them. It's a total different sort of team to what I came through in terms of maybe the football that's getting played. And I mean, we was direct at times when need be, but I think we did have a lot of good footballers on the ball. Everyone was very, very comfortable. And but yeah, last night, I mean, looking at them last night, the first half, that was they got in Watford's faces, and Watford just could not handle it. And seeing that's obviously I understand what they're really good at now, and the work rate of them. I mean, Watford couldn't string 3 passes together in the first half.
No.
So there's no surprise. There's no surprise in the result. Once they went 2-0 up, I knew that the game was done.
Yeah.
You're a better man than me, Pete. I was still worried at 3-0. What got to tell you,
Ted? I looked on Ladbrokes to see what 4-3
cash out.
Yeah, I can tell you now. I can tell you now. All around me, we was all saying the same thing at half time. Let's hope they don't score in the first 10 minutes or so. Otherwise, it's going to be a long night.
Yeah, that's important. Even when you are 3-0 up, the first 5-10 minutes of the second half, because if the other team scores, obviously momentum goes straight to them. But no, I think like I said, it was. You could see they were a well-oiled machine, Millwall. And they knew exactly what they were doing. You know what I mean, in terms of where the ball was getting played, the ball's going into the box every obviously opportunity they had. And if you look at the goals as well, the amount of bodies of Millwall players that were in the box at the time, Watford couldn't handle it, simple as. So it was a good performance from where I was sitting.
Fantastic. Peter, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. I think we could have gone on for a lot longer. We'll definitely get you on again soon.
No worries.
Find out more about the pathway and if you've been down the den anymore. So it's good luck, mate, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks a lot. I'll take care, all right?
Cheers, Pete.
Yeah.
Good luck, mate.
Cheers,
See you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We'll take a break there and listen to Debbie Julian's Harvey Brown talking Lions Food Hub.
Let's hear from Harvey Brown.
Have you heard of the Lions Food Hub? That Millwall Lioness, Kelly Webster, is involved. Don't forget to help the Lions Food Hub if you can. Thank you.
As Harvey said, they need your support. If you can help, and you can make a one-off or a regular monetary donation at Banquet, that is BANKUET, you will find them online. Insert www.banquet.co.uk/Lions Food Hub into your browser. I'll say that again. www.banquet.co.uk/Lions Food Hub. And the Lions Food Hub is all one word. On match days, you can make food and toiletry donations at the Lions Food Hub, which is opposite the 1885 bar at the Coldblow Lane end of the ground. Alternatively, you can also contact the team via the Lions Food Hub Twitter or Facebook sites.
I'm Gary Staff, and with me I have the No One Likes a Talking team of Ted Robinson, George Glampy and Patricia Maslin. Energy and food poverty is rising beyond our wildest dreams from 12 months ago and will not decrease but increase again. However, your kindness will be much appreciated and lessen the burden on many families at risk. Let's hear from Ellis Barr, whose videos we love to watch. Keep up the good work, Ellis.
Ellis here. Thank you for watching my videos. Now to hear what the Millwall Lionesses and Romans have been up to, and to hear who is next up for Gary Rowett and the Lions. Come on, Millwall!
Thanks, Ellis. Keep up the great work. Eamon caught up with the Millwall Romans and Pride general manager, ahead of the Millwall v Watford clash on Wednesday night.
Well, I've caught up with that man, Paul Odin, here at the Den tonight for the game between Millwall and Watford. Well, what a treat that's going to be for you, Paul.
Absolutely, it's great to be here, though.
Good. Paul, how did it go at the weekend in the Titans tournament?
So we played on Saturday, Titans tournament. It was a bit of a mix of a squad between the Romans and Pride team. We did okay, to be fair. We got through to the semi-finals, got knocked out 1-0 against quite a strong Falcons team, to be fair. But I think we're quite proud of that, to be fair, considering it was a mix of the teams.
And what happened last year as well?
Let's move on.
Okay, then we'll say that is enough. Yeah. So what's up next then, Paul?
So this weekend we are away, the Romans team are away to Titans, again over in West London, Barnes Elms. It's a 2:00 kick-off on our dreaded grass pitches. Pride are on a break this week, and then the week after that we've actually got a new thing we're going to try with. We've got a Lake Norient backed five-side tournament over in East London. So we've got that on the week after next as well.
Well, very entertaining, and you can diversify with efficiency by the sound of it.
Absolutely, that's
and
right.
Here you are here tonight, diversifying yet again.
Indeed.
So, what can we expect to see from the Romans here this evening?
So we're inviting today. So today is the Rainbow Laces campaign launch day, and we were invited down. We've got I think 16 of us will be here.
Great.
Sorry, 18 of us actually will be here. A few of us have been invited into the executive box, which is a great privilege to be here. And I've got to meet Sky just before kick-off. We're meeting Steve Kavanagh, the CEO. Having a little chat with him, all going pitch side, getting a bit of a photo going. I'm going to have a quick chat with Sky beforehand and just go through what Rainbow Laces means, what we're all about, and what we do down here at Millwall.
Excellent stuff. Well, all the best with that, and all the best this weekend.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Eamon.
Lovely to speak to you again, Paul.
Thank you, mate.
Cheers, mate. Bye. Well, that was Paul Loading, who gave a great account for himself and Millwall Football Club. I did forget to ask him about a prediction for next Saturday's game at West Brom, but he did text me back very quickly after the game and said another 3-0 win for Millwall.
Thanks, Eamon and Paul. Jeff filed a report this weekend for the Lionesses also.
This is Jeff Burnage reporting for Millwall Lionesses, who stayed top of the London and South East Regional League with a 4-0 victory over New London Lionesses at Barn Elms in West London. The stadium is part of a very large open area with a running track around the outside, so the atmosphere was a lot less fiery than it was for the previous 3 matches, which were played in front of large crowds and in tight stadia. The goals in this game came from Jade Keogh, Otisha Charles and Angel Reid in the first half, and this enabled the manager Jack Wheeler to once again show the depth of the team's squad, fielding all 5 second half substitutes. Maisie Joyce scored a 4th, and both Cadence Kabadaki and Chanel Richards hit the woodwork towards the end of the game. I suppose in the end it was a very comfortable win and good preparation for the big match this Sunday in the FA Women's Cup. The tie is at home to Long Grendon Women from the South Regional League, and it will be at the Salter Road Stadium in Rotherhithe, South East London, quite close to Millwall Stadium at the Den. A good run in the FA Cup would be a wonderful target, in addition to the main priority of promotion back to the National League.
Cheers, Jeff. Pat, the Lionesses is currently beating everyone in their path at the moment, proudly sitting top of the table. Can they keep this run going, do you think?
Well, it certainly looks like it, because they're not winning by 1 or even 2-0 each week now, are they? They're certainly putting the goals away. We do a report every week in the programme now on them, so I'm seeing the same names coming up with the scorers. They're certainly looking a good little unit. As Jeff said, they remain top this week, winning 4-0. And it'll be really nice if Millwall could actually let them play at the Den if they get a big cup game. People should get along to watch them. I keep saying I'm going to, but I will do. I just think Millwall should perhaps themselves show a bigger support for them, especially as they're doing so well. Promotion this year, I see them go up yet again, probably their 3rd promotion. Got no worries there, I don't think.
Fantastic. Ted, what do you make of what Paul had to say about the Romans and Pride this week, and also about the Rainbow Laces campaign?
Yeah, I mean, fantastic thing to hear Paul being invited like that to, explain what's going on with the Rainbow Laces campaign. Also, they sound like they was a bit unlucky. Always difficult with tournaments, but I'm sure they'll bounce back the Romans this week with their game against Titans. I'm sure, despite they're on their grass, as Paul said, I'm sure they'll be fine. But no, I think, as I've said before, they seem to be going from strength to strength, so that's good. Let's hope that they carry that on this weekend.
The under-21s have had a week off this week. Next up is the Swanseas away, who currently sit 8th. The Lions are currently 2nd with a game in hand over Bristol City, who currently have 29 points with the Lions on 25. There is currently a 7-point gap down to 3rd in Cardiff. Do you think the Lions can keep this form going, George?
Well, I hope so, Gal. I think Jeff was making the point, I think it was only last week, that we're sort of loaning out quite a few of our under-21s, and last week's match, I think it was, they didn't even have a back line. They were sort of, so many players had gone out on loan. So I know that's a credit to the club, but I suppose as us as supporters want to see them winning all the time, and they're 2nd in the table. So, I'm hoping that, this all carries on going the way it does. It seems they're really doing well this season. So, and I think this is great. It goes right through the club with the first team doing well, and it works its way down. Yeah, I'm hoping it follows suit, and these guys do really well, and they make their way obviously towards the first team.
Agreed. So,
can I just make a shout out to the under-18s who don't hardly get a mention? They beat Colchester 2-7 during the week, so
brilliant.
Well done to them as well.
Oh, and can I just say, did Pat try and get an ad in there for the programme when she mentioned our programme queen? Did you try and get a little quick ad in about the programme for the Lioness?
Any opportunity, Pat? Any opportunity?
No, but because it's fact. I'm learning more about the Lionesses and the under 18s and 23s by writing about them each week. I mean, it's
I think
really
you'll find it's not the
interesting.
23s anymore, it's the under 21s.
Under 21s in.
Yeah, I got corrected last week, didn't I,
It's
George?
not actually, it's a development league. So
Right, next up, come on. Next up, we've got West Bromwich Albion at the Den. Albion have recently parted company with Steve Bruce following a poor start to the season, which got worse on Tuesday night. They're currently sitting around 20th, may have gone a bit lower with the results this week. I don't believe a new manager has been found yet. So, how do you think the Lions will fare against West Bromwich Albion, Ted?
Well, to state the obvious, Gal, if they play like they did last night, they'll be fine. But I'm not concerned. We've got to go out and concentrate on ourselves. But West Bromwich Albion, with the players that they've got, should never be where they are. And what I say worries me, but is in my head a bit at the moment about this. Their new manager or their next manager could well be sitting up in our stand on Saturday. They might have decided who it is, or it may well be more or less known who he is. And these guys that have been underperforming, in my opinion, by quite some distance, although I know they lost 2-0 against Bristol City, I think if you looked at the corner count or something like that, it was 13-1 in West Brom's favour. They seem to do a lot of things, but just not scoring lately. And my concern is that they have got quality players, and it could turn with West Brom quite easily. I'm not saying that, I'm still confident that we win, but I think we have to be a bit wary of West Brom and the quality that they have got. It hasn't been shown this season, admittedly, but it's still there. And we all know what Jed can do. And I for one, personally, absolutely hate ex-Millwall players coming down to players because they more often than not seem to score. So I say I've got concerns about it, but if we can put a performance together like we did last night, I see there's no reason why not. Why we can't play like that, and I can see us winning a game, but I think it's going to be tight. I think it might be a 2-1.
George?
Well, I have all the same worries that Ted does, actually. There's no way in the world that this West Brom team should be anywhere near the lower part of the league. I just can't believe, and especially with Jed going to, and we all know what a quality player he is, and I thought he would just be pushing this team right on up. I thought they would be in the top 2, basically. That's how good most of their players are. I know that we're all sort of looking forward to this. Jed's coming down. I have all these same doubts Ted does. I think it's liable to be a draw because I just don't believe West Brom can carry on playing as poorly as they have done, actually.
And Pat, do you agree with them too?
Yeah, I mean, you're always worried that this is going to be the game that they start picking up and we're going to be the victims.
Yeah.
But if we do play like we did Wednesday, I think it's going to be a walk in the park for us. I mean, they are so down at heart at the moment. I go on their sort of, social media pages and the fans are like really down in the dumps. Don't forget we got Malumbi coming back as well in front of us. So we got two players there to watch. I think Jed's
Has he been
gonna
playing?
have a Yeah, he has. Yeah. I
Ah.
think he was subbed last game, but he came on. Yeah, he has been playing. And seemingly Jed is their star player at the moment. They think the world of him, but I think he's going to get grief for 90 minutes at least. It'll be a lively game Saturday. I think we're going to get a good crowd as well. I think we're going to win. I think we're going to do a 2-0 over them.
The other guy they've got that always seems to do well against us is Carlin Grant up front. I say it's just that, as George quite rightly pointed out, that they shouldn't be where they are. I mean, they made the mistake of Steve Bruce, but I don't think he was ever going to take them anywhere personally. And it's just that concern that we all know that they've got very good players. One or two of them know the den quite well, as Pat pointed out, Malumbi and Jed, and Carlin Grant's been a thorn in their side in the past. So, but listen, we've got to be confident. These sort of games are the ones you've got to win if you want to get promoted. So,
agreed. Yeah. Agreed. Did we get a prediction from you, Pat? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's 2-0.
2-0. I'm going to go. I said 3-0 on Wednesday, so I'll go 3-0 again. I think we'll be comfortable again, but I don't think it'd be so emphatic. I just think it'd be comfortable. But anyway, we'll take a break there before we join our second guest and hear from the Fantastic Fanatics.
Hi, I'm Richard Gordon, and I'd like to invite you to become a Fantastic Fanatic. Fantastic Fanatics is a great way to raise funds for your sports club. Sign up today, find your club, and securely register your everyday debit and credit cards. Every time you spend with our retail partners, they pay a percentage back to your club. It costs you nothing, and you can win cash prizes along the way. Visit fantasticfanatics.com and help your club be the best it can be.
I'm Gary Staff, and with me, I have the No One Likes a Talking team of Ted Robinson, George Lampy, and Patricia Maslin. With Christmas a mere 66 days away. My God.
What?
Yes. Why not spend on presents through the Fantastic Fanatic site and give a bonus to the Millwall Community Trust? It will help them deliver such activities as school holiday camps and walking football sports for the over 50s and their latest offering. And if you're aged between 16 and 24 and currently out of education or unemployed, you can join the Millwall's Second Chance Academy. The programme allows footballers and those wishing to work in the professional football industry to come into Millwall to learn, train and coach like a professional whilst also being educated. So, our last guest this evening is a massive friend of the show and is the man who is producing an ever-increasing number of activities for the community. Let's welcome Sean Daly.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening, Sean.
Evening, Sean.
Evening, Sean. Thanks for waiting over there, mate. I really enjoyed that.
That's right. No, I liked it. I thought it was very smooth, your programme, but now I'm a bit worried now.
Oh.
But I keep hearing say, cut that bit out. I like to about Christmas as well, because we announced our Santa Dash today. We'll be doing our Santa Dash.
You can tell us all about that in a minute then, Sean.
Is George Lampy dressing up again?
I hope so, yeah.
There's no way that'll be a dash, Sean, I'll tell you that.
Oh, dear. Right, before we start, Sean, I have to ask, it was clear at the recent professional Gianluca Sardi event at the Millwall Community Trust that a lot of people did not know about the width and breadth of activities that the Trust undertakes and the number of people that engage with those activities. One amazing story fascinated one of our supporters, Dean Wilson, who was present at the time. It was with regard to the number of young people that are being educated under the roof of the Lions Centre, who would otherwise be out of education for a myriad of reasons. Can you let your listeners know about this amazing?
Yeah, so first of all, we work locally. We work very closely with the local authority, and we've set up some programs around schoolwork. And the idea is that there's a lot of young people aged between sort of like 12 and 16 that we target that how school is not for them, and it could be for all different reasons. It could be they can't keep up with schoolwork, bullying, all different regions. And what the schools try and do is they try and put these young people, they don't want to exclude them from school. They want to try and give them some respite somewhere. And then the idea is that they will go and spend 3 days at an alternative provision and maybe 2 days at school. And then what we try and work with them is, can we get them back to a 3 day at school, 2 days with us, and then eventually 5 days back at school. Now, the idea is we have qualified teachers as part of our staff, and we'll work with those young people and we'll do their BTECs, we'll do their A-levels with them. But our main objective is within those 3 days, can we build up their social skills, get them back into the school environment, because that's where they should be, and then just work with them around education. Now, some children will get back within 6 weeks, within a school term, we'll get them back into full-time education. Some may take a bit longer. We've got a couple of young people that have been with us for like a year, but they've gone from 3 days with us down to like 1 day with us. And it's just that little bit of a respite. And it's important that we work around that, because we don't want to see kids excluded from school. Because once they're excluded from school, they're not going to get the qualifications. It's going to be on their record as well. So, we want them to try and get them back into school. And we've got about 54 young people at the moment that we educate weekly. So it's a great programme.
Fantastic. That's great work, Sean. Great work.
Yeah, that's really fantastic, Sean, to hear that, because these poor kids, it's, all you can do to get them back into full-time education is for the best for them, without a doubt. So that's brilliant, mate. The other thing, or one of the other things in the ever-increasing MCT umbrella, Sean, is the Lionesses. Did you ever anticipate the response by the team and its management to the challenges of this season in the London and South East Women's Regional Football League? It's pretty amazing, mate, what they're doing at the moment.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, but it's all started from the ground part of it. We've got a great academy, and some of those players now we're seeing benefiting. It was a tough decision we made 3 years ago not to have a regional talent centre, but to have our own Millwall Girls Academy. And we're seeing the benefit of that. So we're seeing some of the young 16s and 18s now going into the first team. And it's a nice culture, they belong in Millwall, and that's what's helping them get through this. But they're unbelievable at the moment. They've got a big cup game this week. I'm hoping people are going to turn out to watch them. But they're having a great season. It's got to continue.
Hello, Sean. Pat here.
Hey, Pat.
It was great to see the Romans and Pride feature at the Den on Wednesday, part of the Rainbow Laces fixture against Watford. We've just had Paul Loading, their general manager, on, and he was saying how proud he was about being part of Millwall FC and the support he's received and the inclusion. Do you foresee the LGBTQI partnership increasing in other professional clubs?
I'd love to see it increase, because I think that, a football club has such a power to be inclusive with everybody. Whether clubs will take that opportunity, I don't know. That's they run their clubs how they want to run their clubs. That was always my view when I came here, that Millwall wanted to be an all-inclusive club. It's a family club. We're open to everybody. People have got to look at someone like the Millwalls and the Charltons and say, they've taken that step to work with the LGBT community, and look how it's grown. Paul talked to me last night, and he was saying, they've got 45 members now. Growing from like where they were in West London or whatever with 10 people, they've now got 45, and it's growing bigger and bigger. The guys have been invited to City Hall to speak to Sadiq Khan about the LGBT community and about Millwall and how it's developed into the Romans and the Pride. So we're getting a lot of profile of, as a club, and it was seen last night with the Romans and the Pride on TV and Sky there taking interest in it. I would like to see that, that other clubs have got the forefront to go and do what we've done.
Yeah, I agree with you. The best thing would be to have actual professional footballers come out and sort of tell us they're gay and make it even more inclusive in the club, that we are as one. That would be a really big success.
We'll get there, Pat, one day. That will happen one day, but it's getting over the first hurdles, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hello, Sean. George here.
Hi, George.
Just going back to that bit, I remember interviewing Paul when you guys, brought him under your umbrella first off, and then speaking to him up the other night up at your place, and he was telling me how all these people are now wanting to join, and it's been such a progression. I think you and all the guys should be very proud of yourself. You've done a real great job there, so well done on that, mate. But I'll get on to my question.
Yeah, and I think it's everyone as a club who supported us, didn't it? That's a massive step for someone like Millwall to be working with the LGBT community. So I think it's a whole club, the fan base, everyone from the club was behind it from the word go. Not one person said to me like, we should be concentrating on the first team. It's all about this is our community. Our community is very diverse. That's what we're here for, to engage with that community. We're in such a privileged place to have a football club that will go out and work with that diverse community.
Let me get to my question. Also on Wednesday night at the Lions Centre was the first of your audience interactive events under the title of The Pathways at Millwall, which featured obviously Peter Sweeney tonight, who came on and had a chat with us about, and all the coaches you had there. Can you tell me what this is all about and how it has come about, Sean? Please.
Yeah, so as you know, we have an EDI group where we look at different ways of bringing people into Millwall Football Club. And we're trying lots of different ways to get someone to come and see what Millwall's about, come and see what the club's about, come and experience a game, come and experience the day at Millwall. So we come up with the idea is that what we'd like to do is a series of workshops once a month at a game, and try and bring people in that maybe might not come to Millwall because they don't support it or they don't feel they're comfortable to come to it, but to come to a workshop that's held on a match day, and then we'll give them a free ticket to go to the game afterwards and hospitality. So, there was tea and coffee up there was sandwiches, etc. And what we want to try and do is again, we're privileged in a great place is that a lot of people want to get into the football industry, into the sports industry, and never have that opportunity to speak to people that are already in it. So what we decided is that every month we will do a workshop up at the Lions Centre, and we'll bring in some guest speakers, not just Millwall ones, people are in the industry, and an opportunity for the public to have a chat with them about different things. So we target our first one around coaching, and it was in association with Fans Diversity, which is Adwan, who sits on the EDI board. He brought in a few people that he knew. So he brought in a female coach. We brought Peter Sweeney in. We brought Chris Parr in from the academy. And we just gave an opportunity. And the audience was about 40 people yesterday. And we want to keep it quite small. We want to go up to 50, 60 people each match. But an opportunity for them to ask about what their role is, what they do, and how did they get into it. And then give people an insight to go, well, maybe this is what I want to do. So we've got a few lined up. We're going to do one about reffing. We've got some referees going to come in. We're going to do one about scouts. So we're going to get some scouts in. Steve's going to come in and talk about being a CEO of a club and the pitfalls and the ups and downs of working at a football club. We're going to have ones around just focusing on the female game. But we're going to have loads of workshops. So from every month, we're going to have a workshop that we're going to try and bring people in and just have an opportunity to speak to people that are in the industry and to pick their knowledge and see if that's where they want to go or could prove them.
Fantastic, Sean. Everything you do just gets better and better, and your work within the community is ever growing, and we like to keep you back on the show as regular as possible to find out more and more about what you do. So, Sean, keep up the amazing work, mate.
No, listen, I thank you for all your support, because without people like yourselves and that, we wouldn't get the coverage that we do. And I appreciate all that. Thank you very much.
No problem, Sean. But before we let you go, got to have a prediction for Saturday against West Bromwich Albion. What do you think?
I thought yesterday's game was excellent. I thought first half, best we've ever played for a long time. But I think everyone said West Brom are a very good team, got some really good players. I think it's going to be very tight. So I think we'll probably score 1-0.
You might be right there, but I'll take the win nevertheless.
Yeah.
Sean, it's an absolute pleasure. And I've actually just been texting Peter because I didn't remember to ask him what his prediction was. And he has just matched you, Sean. He's just matched you with a 1-0 Millwall as well. So you're both in the same boat there together.
Excellent.
There you go. We'll take a break there and listen to Bethany Warren talking about the Millwall Community Trust.
The work of the Millwall Community Trust makes a big difference for people in Lewisham, Southwark and North Kent. Times are getting tougher, and to help them make a difference, you can help too, by making a donation. Give a one-off donation or a monthly amount. Your support is crucial in raising vital funds for their work, or by fundraising for them. If you are running, swimming, cycling, cooking, dancing, parachuting or anything else, why not do it for the Millwall Community Trust? Interested? Then either email inquiries@millwallcommunity.org.uk or phone 0207 740 0503. I'll say that again. Email inquiries@millwallcommunity.org.uk or phone 0207 740 0503. Thanks if you can.
I'm Gary Staff, and with me I have the Now One Likes Us Talking team of Ted Robinson, George Lampy and Patricia Maslin. The work our trust does is second to none, and if you can make a donation, it will go a long way to help others in our community. Well, here is looking forward to the game ahead at the weekend against West Bromwich Albion, but in the meantime, here are a few matters of interest for our Millwall fans.
First off, what about sponsoring a player enjoying a great executive lounge VIP package with family or friends, or just getting behind the lines in a number of different ways? And that includes business propositions from advertising to sponsorship. Just contact the helpful team of Andrew Stead, Edgar or Lucy in the commercial department to find out more. Good night, everyone.
And next week, Gary returns to host the show on Friday at 8 p.m. with Ted, Bethany and Jeff, and another to be confirmed. Ooh, leaving you waiting there.
Ooh. Who could
Christmas.
it be?
There will be a review of our game and a couple of guests too, so don't miss it. Good night.
Do you know someone, or do you think you have what it takes to join the Millwall Community Trust Post-16 programme and play against other pro clubs? Get in touch with... Oh, I knew you'd given me this. You rotten lot. You rotten lot. Oh, dear. At Millwall_MCT_Academy on Instagram. Is that right?
That's right.
That's right.
Great. See, old boys can learn new tricks about training and trials. I'll say that again because I've finally got it.
No, you're not, are you? Go on.
At Millwall_MCT_Academy on Instagram about training and trials. I don't know what the panic was about. And it's good night from me.
Don't forget, you'll be able to listen to the No One Likes Us Talking team bring reports from our games both home and away for both the Lions and Lionesses, and also updates on Millwall community matters too on Maritime Radio broadcasting on 96.5 FM. Additionally, links to us are on our Instagram, Facebook and Twitter social media sites and all popular podcast sites too. That's it from me. Thanks, Pat, Ted and George. Finally, let's not forget to keep it safe on the streets out there. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Cheers, Gal. Night.